So 2018's been an incredibly interesting year for fintech community globally. Unsurprisingly, 50% of ICOs have gone south. Bitcoin's price has stalled, and GDPR has taken its toll on collection of data in Europe. With that said, it's not all doom and gloom, especially as the implementation of PSD2 means that banking services are more available than ever. And with the possibility of a no-deal Brexit in the UK, as well as a technical recession in South Africa, marketing is more imperative than ever to stimulate economic growth. And that's no different for the financial services sector. One of the standout companies for me in 2018 has been Starling Bank, which has effectively become a PSD2 marketplace for consumers who have different financial products but want one place for them all to live in. And one of the trends that Starling is capitalizing on is being a mobile-only app for banking. Lending Times reckons that 2019 will be the year in which payments and mobile banking will be worth £92 billion. And so mobile first to banking and advertising is definitely here to stay. A buzzword in most industries at the moment is artificial intelligence, and I feel like we're only really starting to scratch the surface of what can be achieved here. We've had our clients queuing up to try AI chatbots with the view of automating their sales processes. But as with all new technology, there's no best practice rulebook on how to increase conversions using chatbots. And so far, the results globally have been a bit underwhelming. We implemented an AI chatbot called Drift for our client HastyPay, and the promise is that Drift's conversational marketing platform allows businesses to transform their marketing with real-time one-on-one conversations, and that the chatbot qualifies leads and books meetings for the sales team. The only issue we've had so far has been that there's only a handful of routes that you can predefine with this artificial intelligence. And so it's not fully optimized to deal with HastyPay's user experience. And we feel like the best chatbots will fully integrate into the user experience and need to be flexible enough for user experience designers to work with them. With that said, we feel like artificial intelligence will be at the center stage of a lot of financial transactions moving forward, and we're really excited about that. Obviously, Asian fintech is going crazy because of the growing middle class and a booming economy. We're also seeing fintech doing well in emerging markets, and I'd be remiss not to mention BitPesa in Kenya and Luno from South Africa, which are obviously the darlings of the African continent. Startup Bootcamp, which has had some successes in European fintech, is also starting in South Africa, so there's definitely interest. And as a London mentor of Startup Bootcamp, I often see really great startups coming out of South Africa. This year was no different. Our client Aerobotics is using drones to analyze crops and provide analytics in order for farmers to better insure their crops. So they've had some major bank interest from the likes of Nedbank, and this clearly shows the trend of how traditional banks are teaming up with startups to bring innovation into their offerings. And hopefully Nedbank's marketing takes on a similar level of innovation, because we're still seeing large offline spends in emerging markets, obviously where mobile is becoming the de facto way of accessing the internet. Speaking of InsurTech, I'm seeing the on-demand economy driving massive investment in insurance startups that help consumers insure their valuables over the short term. Two companies that I think are doing this really well are Dingy, which helps freelancers insure things like computers, and Zigo, which is offering on-demand insurance for scooter drivers and delivery people. And one thing that they're both doing incredibly well is working their marketing messages back towards their mission, which is to change the insurance sector in line with how the nature of work is changing. So this is incredibly smart and is definitely a marketing trend worth following. And finally, a shout out to our client Luno, which has just been voted the UK's fastest growing startup by PR Newswire. Although Bitcoin's price has stalled somewhat, there's still massive buying of both Bitcoin and Ethereum, and we're happy to have helped Luno make this easier online. Cheers.